Hey there, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith with a deeper dive on the topic of pollen, something that's really been a problem for us here across the Gulf Coast over the last couple of weeks. And we're kind of at our peak with it right now. And the main issue is the lack of rainfall that has been really causing this pollen count to ramp up. And you can see we've had this graphic up a lot on Fox 10 News showing the very high pollen levels. So the other element to it would be the gusty winds. And so when we don't have rain and we have gusty winds, that blows the pollen around, it stirs it up. And look at Saturday morning, winds gusting to 25 miles an hour. So we've been on the edge of this ridge. The ridges have been strong enough to keep a pretty limited amount of rainfall in the area. We do have some scattered showers that may help short term midweek, and then we get into the weekend, it's drier, and then by Sunday we'll finally see, I think, some rain that'll come that'll do a number on this pollen. But we're really seeing it accumulating, the wind and also the dry conditions having a big impact on the pollen count. And looking at our potential wind gusts, they're still pretty breezy through Sunday morning. Our rainfall deficit 2 inches for the year for 8.6 inches for the year and 2 inches for the month of March. So we've seen a very, very dry spell to start 2026. That's a big deficit over a short period of time. Every month's been below normal with our rainfall, a little over 3.5 inches below normal in January, 3 inches in February, 2 inches in March. And so the pollen, the trees are doing their thing, it's starting to get warm, and the oak trees are budding out with new leaves and new growth, and the tassels and the pollen coming out. And then, there's nothing to really wash the pollen out of the air and get it on out of here with these dry conditions. So that's why we're contending with it. And the main offender is the oak tree pollen that's going on right now. The pine trees will start putting out a little pollen as well. Grass pollen is also an issue. The grass really is just starting to grow, the warm season grasses. And then the peak to the pollen is typically about right now between March the 15th and April the 15th. Once we get into late April, we typically see the pollen beginning to phase out. It's not as bad, but it's right around the spring equinox that we see the potential for the pollen being very, very thick. And then you add in the tree pollen, and it's a major issue through about the middle of April. After that, we start to be in better shape. And we really don't see a lot of rain coming to help with this. There is going to be some shower activity this week and then again this weekend, but next week looks dry, and taking it forward through about the middle of the month, it could be drier than normal again. So we're going to keep having to battle that pollen as long as conditions stay dry and we have the breezy conditions as well. So main thing to do is just to limit your exposure, stay indoors, especially when it's breezy in the afternoon. A lot of times it's not so windy early in the morning, and then you can get out and get some things done, but in the afternoon, that's when the pollen really gets stirred up. So hopefully you'll get some relief from the pollen in the form of showers, and definitely expecting things to improve as we finish out the month of April. But in the short term, it looks like more potential issues with the pollen count for the Gulf Coast.